Have you ever felt like life is a whirlwind, sweeping you into a constant rush of tasks without a clear sense of progress? You wake up, check your schedule, and suddenly find yourself trapped in a cycle of busy work, wondering if there's more to life than this endless loop. It's easy to feel like you're running on a treadmill, expending energy without moving closer to your true goals. The pressure to constantly do more, be more, and achieve more can cloud our sense of purpose and leave us questioning the meaning behind our daily grind. In the midst of this chaos, our minds often wander to thoughts of what if there is something more significant waiting for us beyond the hustle. We might find ourselves yearning for a sense of direction, a deeper understanding of why we are here, and how our actions contribute to something greater than ourselves. This feeling is not uncommon. In fact, it echoes the ancient wisdom of the Stoics, who recognized the human struggle with distraction, urgency, and the endless chase for external validation. The Stoics remind us that the measure of our life isn't in how busy we are, but in the intention behind our actions. They teach us that life's value lies not in mere productivity, but in living with purpose and mindfulness. This perspective encourages us to stop and consider our true goals, to step back from the chaos and ask ourselves what kind of life we want to lead. By doing so, we can shift our focus from external achievements and social pressures to internal growth in alignment with our core values. Imagine beginning your day with a quiet moment of reflection, setting a clear intention for how you want to navigate the coming hours. Instead of being immediately swept away by an avalanche of emails, meetings, and urgent tasks, you take a pause. In that pause, you remind yourself of what truly matters. This simple act of centering your thoughts before diving into action is a cornerstone of intentional living as advocated by Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that our reactions to events, rather than the events themselves, determine our happiness and peace of mind. They taught that while we cannot control external circumstances, we can control our responses to them. This idea is incredibly empowering. It suggests that despite the whirlwind of obligations, interruptions, and unforeseen challenges that life inevitably throws at us, we maintain the ability to choose our attitude and approach. This choice is where our true freedom lies. By embracing this mindful approach, we start cultivating habits that align with our deepest values, habits that not only shape who we become, but also determine the quality of our journey. Instead of letting external pressures dictate our days, we learn to set our own course. With each deliberate choice, we lay down the foundation for a more purposeful and fulfilling life, turning the whirlwind of tasks into a structured path that leads us closer to our true aspirations. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, who famously said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This guidance emphasizes the importance of self-definition before action. It suggests that to navigate life effectively, we must have clarity about our values, goals, and the person we aspire to become. Only then can our actions be meaningful and directed, rather than scattered and reactive. Taking a moment to define these intentions might mean reflecting on questions like, what is most important to me? What kind of person do I want to be? How do my actions align with the values I hold dear? As we ponder these questions, we begin to see that our daily choices, however small, are steps along a path that reflects our inner convictions. Whether it's choosing to respond calmly to a frustrating situation, prioritizing time for family and self-care, or dedicating energy to a passion project, each decision is an opportunity to live more intentionally. Moreover, living intentionally is not just about grand gestures or radical life overhauls. It starts with small, consistent habits. The Stoics emphasized that greatness is achieved not overnight, but through the accumulation of small acts of virtue and wisdom. Over time, these habits build a character and a life that reflect our truest selves. For instance, setting aside a few minutes each morning for meditation or journaling can help clear mental clutter, focus our thoughts, and prepare us to face the day with calm determination. As we integrate these practices into our routine, we may find that we are less susceptible to the constant pull of distractions. Instead of reacting impulsively to every notification or request, we become more selective, choosing only those actions that serve our higher purpose. This selective approach acts as a filter, allowing only meaningful tasks to take precedence over trivial ones, and ensuring that our energy is directed towards what truly matters. The path of intentional living, as illuminated by Stoic thought, also calls for resilience in the face of setbacks. Life's challenges and failures are inevitable, but our perspective on these events can transform them from obstacles into opportunities for growth. When we view each setback as a lesson and each hardship as a chance to practice virtue, be it patience, courage, or perseverance, we turn adversity into a catalyst for personal development. Imagine encountering a major disruption in your routine. Perhaps a project fails, or a personal plan falls through. Rather than succumbing to frustration or despair, you pause to assess the situation with a calm mind. You remind yourself that while you cannot control what happened, you can control how you respond. This mindset shift not only reduces immediate stress, but also opens the door to creative solutions and new possibilities you might not have considered if you had reacted out of panic or anger. In essence, setting the stage for an intentional life involves creating a mental and emotional space where purpose and clarity can flourish. It means acknowledging the whirlwind of external chaos, but choosing to ground oneself in timeless principles that guide behavior, decisions, and outlook. This grounding is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice, one that evolves as we grow, learn, and face new challenges. As we embark on this journey together, let's commit to slowing down amidst the rush, to carving out moments of quiet reflection, and to aligning our actions with our truest intentions. By doing so, we not only find a way to navigate the busy currents of life more effectively, but also transform our existence into a purposeful, meaningful adventure, where each step is taken with awareness and deliberate grace. As we dive deeper into living intentionally, the next critical step is embracing proactivity and mastering our responses to the world around us. Life continuously presents challenges, unexpected delays, difficult conversations, and situations beyond our control. Rather than being swept away by frustration or despair, we have the power to choose how we respond. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, recognizing that while we cannot dictate what happens, we can always govern our reactions. Imagine standing in line at your favorite coffee shop when someone cuts ahead of you. Instant irritation bubbles up. Your thoughts spiral into anger and resentment. In that charged moment, two paths present themselves. React impulsively, allowing anger to taint the rest of your day, or pause, breathe, and choose a response aligned with your values. The Stoics teach that the space between stimulus and response is where our true power lies. By creating this mental gap, we transform a potentially negative situation into an opportunity for calm, assertiveness, and growth. This proactive approach is more than just managing anger. It's about steering your life with intention. Instead of letting external pressures control your day, you take the helm. You become the captain of your ship, adjusting your sails to navigate through rough seas, rather than being tossed about by waves. This shift in mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones, setbacks into lessons, and challenges into character-building experiences. To cultivate proactivity, start by observing your reactions. When faced with discomfort, pause and ask yourself, is this situation worth expending my energy on? More often than not, the answer is no. By reframing our mindset, we open up space for responses that align with our long-term vision, rather than short-term emotional impulses. This might mean calmly addressing a conflict, instead of escalating it, or deliberately choosing to focus on what you can control: your actions, thoughts, and attitudes, rather than dwelling on what you can't change. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus, who advised focusing on what is within our power and letting go of what is not. This doesn't imply passivity or resignation. Rather, it encourages investing energy where it can make a difference. If someone is rude to you, you cannot change their behavior, but you can control your reaction. If a project faces setbacks, you can't alter past events, but you can adapt your strategy moving forward. By consistently directing your attention to what you can influence, you build resilience and create a more peaceful, purposeful existence. Proactivity also involves taking initiative rather than waiting for life to happen to you. It's about creating opportunities and solutions instead of merely reacting to circumstances. Highly effective people don't just wait for the right moment, they shape the moment to fit their goals. Think of them as proactive captains, who, when confronted with stormy weather, adjust their course, secure their crew, and forge ahead with determination, instead of lamenting the storm's fury. This mindset shift requires self-awareness and deliberate practice. Begin by setting small, manageable goals each day that align with your core values. When interruptions occur, calmly assess their significance and decide whether they deserve your immediate attention or can wait. Practice gratitude for what you can control, and remind yourself that every decision, no matter how trivial it may seem, contributes to the broader tapestry of your life. Moreover, being proactive is closely linked to how we prepare for the day ahead. Instead of diving into tasks haphazardly, start your morning by setting a clear intention. Visualize the kind of day you want, how you will handle unexpected challenges, how you will interact with others, and how you will honor your values throughout the day. This mental rehearsal primes you for success, providing a blueprint for navigating surprises and maintaining equilibrium under pressure. As you practice these habits, you'll notice a transformation in your energy and focus. Stressful situations that once seemed overwhelming become manageable. You begin to notice patterns in your reactions and gradually reshape them in ways that serve your larger goals. This continuous cycle of mindful reflection and deliberate action not only enhances personal effectiveness, but also builds a calm, resilient inner world that remains undisturbed by the outer chaos. In summary, proactivity and mastering our responses are about taking control of our inner lives, even when the external world feels uncontrollable. It's about transforming our approach from passive reaction to active shaping of our experiences. Through mindful pauses, self-reflection, and intentional decision-making, we build the capacity to face life's unpredictability with grace and strength. This empowers us to live not as victims of circumstance, but as architects of our destiny, choosing our responses wisely, guided by purpose, and setting the stage for a life of meaning and fulfillment. Having explored the importance of intention and proactive living, we now turn our attention to defining our purpose and prioritizing what truly matters. In the midst of daily chaos and endless to-do lists, it's easy to lose sight of our deeper goals. This section delves into the Stoic practice of beginning with the end in mind, clarifying our purpose, aligning our actions with our values, and ensuring that we devote our energy to what truly counts. Imagine setting out on a long journey without a destination. You might encounter fascinating sights along the way, but without a clear endpoint, the journey lacks direction and fulfillment. Similarly, if we navigate our lives without a defined purpose, we risk wandering aimlessly, chasing fleeting tasks that provide temporary satisfaction but no lasting meaning. The Stoics advocate for a shift in mindset. Before embarking on any endeavor, take time to reflect on what you ultimately seek to achieve, both in terms of personal growth and the impact you wish to have on the world. This exercise begins by asking ourselves profound questions. What are my core values? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? What do I truly want to contribute to my community, my relationships, and my own life? Such questions demand introspection, honesty, and a willingness to look beyond surface-level desires. It's through this self-examination that we can define a purpose that resonates deeply with who we are, rather than what society or circumstances dictate. Once we have a clearer picture of our purpose, the next step is to translate that vision into actionable priorities. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of aligning our daily habits with our long-term vision. This means evaluating our routines, tasks, and commitments, asking ourselves, Does this serve my higher purpose? Or is it a distraction? When our actions and time management reflect our core values, we create a life that feels coherent and meaningful. Think of life as a jar filled with rocks, pebbles, and sand. The rocks represent our most important priorities, our health, relationships, personal growth, and foundational work that supports our bigger goals. Pebbles might symbolize tasks that are necessary but less critical, and sand represents the trivial distractions that can consume our time. If we fill the jar with sand and pebbles first, there's no room for the rocks. But when we intentionally place the rocks in first, everything else finds its place. By prioritizing what truly matters, we ensure that our most valuable time and energy are devoted to what advances our purpose. However, defining purpose and setting priorities isn't a one-time event. It's a dynamic process that evolves as we grow and as circumstances change. Regular reflection and recalibration are key. Set aside time each week or month to review your goals. Assess whether your actions are aligned with your values, and adjust your course as needed. This regular check-in process keeps you grounded, ensuring that you remain focused on your true north despite the distractions and demands of everyday life. To put this into practice, start your day or week with a clear statement of purpose. Write down your core priorities and keep them visible on a desk, a journal, or a digital note. Let these reminders guide your decision-making. When new tasks or opportunities arise, pause and consider, does this align with my purpose? Will it help me move closer to my long-term goals, or is it a detour that could sidetrack my progress? In the spirit of Stoicism, we also learn to embrace simplicity and focus. The more clutter we allow in our lives, be it physical possessions, unnecessary commitments, or extraneous thoughts, the harder it becomes to see our path clearly. Simplifying our environment and routines can free up mental space and energy, allowing us to concentrate on what's truly important. This doesn't mean abandoning all obligations or living in austere conditions, but rather being mindful about what we choose to allow into our lives and how each element supports our overall purpose. As we solidify our priorities, it's essential to recognize that pursuing a meaningful life often requires saying no to things that don't serve our higher purpose. This can be challenging in a world where opportunities and demands are constantly vying for our attention. However, every time we say yes to something that doesn't align with our values, we say no to something that does. By being selective and intentional about our commitments, we protect our time and energy for the endeavors that truly matter. Alongside prioritizing our tasks, cultivating a mindset of gratitude and reflection reinforces our sense of purpose. Regularly taking moments to appreciate the progress we've made, to acknowledge the lessons learned from setbacks, and to celebrate small victories along the way fuels our motivation. It keeps us connected to our journey, reminding us that every step, no matter how small, is part of a larger narrative that we are crafting with intention and care. In summary, defining our purpose and setting clear priorities is a transformative practice that aligns our daily actions with our deepest values. By beginning with the end in mind, we chart a course that navigates through distractions and aligns our time and energy with what truly matters. This Stoic approach not only provides clarity and direction, but also imbues our lives with meaning and fulfillment. As we proceed further on this path, we'll explore how to create harmonious relationships, engage in mindful collaboration, and foster a community that supports our intentional living journey. With a clear sense of purpose and prioritized intentions guiding our actions. The next phase of intentional living involves how we interact with others. Relationships, negotiations, and collaborations form the fabric of our daily lives, and approaching these interactions with a win-win mindset can transform not only outcomes but the quality of our connections. In this section, we explore how to shift from a competitive stance to one of collaboration, fostering synergy, and creating value for all involved. Imagine entering a negotiation or a discussion with the mindset that you must win at all costs, to secure every advantage for yourself. While this competitive approach might yield momentary gains, it often leaves behind frustration, resentment, and missed opportunities for genuine connection. The Stoics recognized early on that true success isn't measured by outdoing others, but by creating outcomes that benefit everyone. This perspective invites us to move from me versus you to us together, building a shared path forward. A win-win mindset begins with empathy. It requires us to consider others' needs, desires, and perspectives. When entering a conversation or negotiation, ask yourself, what can I learn from the other person? How can our interests align? By focusing on mutual benefit rather than zero-sum gains, we open the door to creative solutions that might have been overlooked in a competitive mindset. This approach not only leads to more sustainable agreements, but also builds trust and strengthens relationships over time. Stoic philosophy supports this shift. Epictetus taught that wisdom begins with acknowledging what we do not know and embracing humility. By setting aside the ego-driven urge to dominate a conversation or prove ourselves right, we create space for genuine listening and understanding. When both parties feel heard and valued, collaboration becomes not only possible, but natural. This compassionate approach transforms negotiations from battlegrounds into cooperative ventures where everyone has a stake in the outcome. Developing a win-win mindset also requires clear communication. Be transparent about your intentions, goals, and limitations, and encourage others to do the same. Such openness lays a foundation for trust, as it demonstrates respect and a willingness to work together honestly. For example, if you're negotiating a project timeline with a colleague, share your priorities and constraints. Invite them to discuss theirs openly. This mutual exchange of information often reveals common goals and overlapping interests that can guide the collaboration to a successful compromise. Beyond negotiations, applying a win-win approach influences daily interactions. It encourages us to view disagreements not as conflicts to be won, but as opportunities to understand different viewpoints and co-create solutions. When tensions arise, instead of aiming to win the argument, focus on what outcome truly benefits everyone. Ask questions like, what would make this solution work well for all of us? Or how can we combine our ideas to achieve a better result? This empathetic inquiry transforms potential conflicts into collaborative problem-solving sessions. Synergistic collaboration builds on this foundation of empathy and mutual respect. Synergy means that the combined efforts of a group produce results greater than the sum of individual contributions. Achieving synergy requires embracing differences and harnessing diverse strengths. It's about recognizing that while we each bring unique skills and perspectives, together we can create something far more powerful and innovative than what any of us could achieve alone. However, fostering synergy isn't automatic. It requires deliberate effort and mindset. The Stoics teach us to be open-minded and humble qualities essential for effective teamwork. Embracing diversity of thought means stepping out of our comfort zones to engage with ideas that challenge our assumptions. This openness not only broadens our perspective but also stimulates creativity, as diverse viewpoints often spark innovative solutions to complex problems. To cultivate synergy, practice active listening. When a team member shares an idea, resist the urge to immediately critique or redirect the conversation to your own thoughts. Instead, truly absorb what they are saying. Ask clarifying questions. Reflect on how their ideas align with the group's objectives, and consider how their strengths complement others. This approach not only validates the speaker, but often uncovers insights that would remain hidden if we simply waited for our turn to speak. Another key aspect of synergistic collaboration is recognizing nonverbal communication and the unspoken needs or concerns of those around us. The Stoics advised observing others with clarity and objectivity, seeking to understand intentions beyond words. In a collaborative setting, being attuned to body language, tone, and subtle cues can reveal underlying issues or opportunities that might not be expressed verbally. This sensitivity allows you to address potential misunderstandings early, smooth over tensions, and foster an environment where everyone feels safe to contribute fully. Building synergy also involves embracing challenges and disagreements as constructive elements of the collaborative process. Conflicting ideas aren't roadblocks. They are chances to refine our thinking and develop more resilient solutions. When disagreements arise, approach them with curiosity and a willingness to learn. Ask, what can I learn from this perspective? How does this challenge my assumptions? This Stoic curiosity turns friction into a valuable tool for growth, encouraging a culture where diverse perspectives are seen as assets rather than threats. Lastly, remember that synergy and a win-win mindset require ongoing effort and maintenance. Establish regular moments of reflection, both individually and as a team, to assess how well your collaborative efforts are aligning with shared values and goals. Celebrate successes that come from mutual support and collective intelligence, and analyze setbacks not as failures, but as learning opportunities to improve future cooperation. In summary, cultivating a win-win mindset and fostering synergistic collaboration transform our relationships and interactions from sources of competition and friction into arenas of mutual growth and shared success. By approaching negotiations, conflicts, and everyday conversations with empathy, humility, and openness, we build trust, deepen connections, and create value that benefits everyone involved. This shift not only leads to better outcomes, but also aligns perfectly with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with both ourselves and the world around us, reinforcing the path toward a purposeful and fulfilling life. As our journey through intentional living progresses, we arrive at a crucial element that sustains all our efforts, maintaining balance and dedicating time to self-renewal. Even as we cultivate purpose, proactivity, and collaborative mindsets, it's essential to recognize that our well-being underpins our ability to live fully and effectively, drawing inspiration from Stoic wisdom. This section focuses on caring for the whole self, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to keep our metaphorical saws sharp and ready for life's challenges. In the flurry of setting intentions, managing responses, and fostering meaningful connections, it's easy to neglect our own health and well-being. Yet, the Stoics understood that a well-maintained body and mind are fundamental to pursuing a life of virtue and purpose. They taught that we must care for ourselves with the same dedication we invest in our external goals, recognizing that our capacity to act wisely and compassionately hinges on our internal state. Physical renewal. Our bodies are the instruments through which we experience the world and enact our plans. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus emphasize the importance of self-discipline, which extends to caring for our physical health. Regular exercise, nutritious food, and sufficient sleep are not merely habits of a healthy lifestyle. They are acts of respect for the vessel that carries our mind and spirit. When we prioritize physical well-being, we bolster our energy, resilience, and clarity, qualities essential for navigating life's complexities. Integrating physical renewal into our daily routine can begin with simple steps: committing to a morning walk, choosing wholesome meals, or setting a consistent sleep schedule. These actions, though seemingly small, accumulate over time to enhance our vitality and sharpen our focus. The Stoic approach teaches that self-care is not a luxury, but a prerequisite for serving our greater purpose effectively. Mental renewal. Our minds, inundated with information, stress, and constant stimuli, require deliberate pauses for reflection and growth. The Stoics valued quiet contemplation as a means to clear mental clutter and foster wisdom. In today's fast-paced world, mental renewal might involve practices such as meditation, journaling, or simply setting aside moments of silence. These practices help us process our experiences, reinforce our values, and recalibrate our intentions in light of new insights. Consider dedicating time each day to reflect on your thoughts and actions. Journaling, for example, can be a powerful tool for self-awareness, capturing lessons learned, acknowledging successes, and identifying areas for improvement. This reflection not only clarifies our mind, but also reinforces a growth mindset, enabling us to adapt and thrive amidst change. Emotional renewal. While Stoicism often conjures images of Stoic calmness, emotional renewal in this context is about embracing and understanding our feelings without letting them dictate our actions. Our relationships and experiences evoke a range of emotions: joy, sorrow, frustration, gratitude. Recognizing these emotions, processing them healthily, and seeking balance is vital for emotional well-being. Cultivating emotional balance can involve practices such as mindful breathing during moments of stress, seeking supportive conversations with trusted individuals, or engaging in activities that bring joy and relaxation. By acknowledging our emotions with compassion rather than judgment, we create space for healing and resilience. This emotional grounding allows us to approach others with empathy, maintain healthier relationships, and sustain inner peace even in turbulent times. Spiritual renewal. Beyond the physical, mental, and emotional dimensions lies the spiritual aspect, the sense of connection to something greater than ourselves. For the Stoics, spirituality was less about religious dogma and more about living in alignment with nature, reason, and our highest values. It involved contemplating our place in the world and striving to live in harmony with the natural order. Spiritual renewal can take many forms: meditation, prayer, time spent in nature, or simply moments of gratitude. These practices help us reconnect with our core values, cultivate a sense of wonder, and find purpose beyond immediate concerns. They offer perspective, reminding us of the transient nature of life's challenges and the enduring significance of living authentically according to our principles. Integrating self-renewal into daily life. Maintaining balance is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing practice. It requires regularly assessing our well-being and making adjustments as needed. The Stoic practice of evening reflection, reviewing the day's events, our responses, and areas for improvement can be extended to evaluate how well we're nurturing ourselves across these dimensions. Begin by setting aside dedicated time each day or week for activities that replenish your energy. This might include a quiet walk in nature, reading a thought-provoking book, engaging in creative pursuits, or simply sitting quietly to breathe and let go of tension. Create routines that honor your need for rest and rejuvenation, just as you schedule meetings or work tasks. By doing so, you acknowledge that self-care is integral to productivity and growth, not separate from it. Remember that sharpening the saw, investing in our own renewal, enables us to serve others better, pursue our goals more effectively, and maintain a sustainable pace of life. It's about recognizing that our capacity for intentional living grows stronger when we care for ourselves holistically. The Stoic path teaches us that a well-nurtured mind, body, and spirit form the foundation for resilience, wisdom, and the harmonious living we seek. In conclusion, maintaining balance and dedicating time to self-renewal are essential components of an intentional life. By integrating physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual care into our daily practices, we sharpen our ability to act purposefully, respond wisely, and engage deeply with the world around us. This holistic approach not only enhances our personal well-being, but also enriches our relationships, work, and contributions to the community, guiding us toward a life of sustained meaning and fulfillment. In our journey toward intentional living, effective communication stands out as a cornerstone for building strong relationships and fostering personal growth. Equally crucial as speaking wisely is the art of listening, engaging with others in a way that is attentive, empathetic, and grounded in the principles of Stoic philosophy. In this section, we explore how honing our listening skills and practicing empathetic communication can transform our interactions and deepen our connections with those around us. Imagine a conversation where you feel truly heard, where the other person sets aside their own agenda to fully understand your perspective. How different would that feel compared to a dialogue dominated by interruptions or surface-level responses? Stoics like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of listening more than speaking, understanding others before seeking to be understood. This approach not only benefits the speaker, but also enriches the listener, cultivating empathy, patience, and a deeper awareness of the human experience. Active listening as a practice. Active listening is more than just hearing words. It's about being fully present in the conversation. To listen actively, clear your mind of distractions, maintain eye contact, and provide nonverbal cues that show you're engaged. Resist the urge to formulate a response while the other person is speaking. Instead, focus entirely on their words, tone, and body language. This practice echoes the Stoic ideal of pausing between stimulus and response, creating a thoughtful space that allows for deeper understanding. When someone shares their thoughts or feelings, approach the dialogue with an open heart and mind. Ask clarifying questions such as, "Can you tell me more about that?" Or "How did that experience make you feel?" These questions not only demonstrate genuine interest, but also invite the speaker to explore their own perspective more fully. By doing so, you validate their experience and create a safe space for honest communication. Empathy and Stoicism. Empathy is at the heart of truly understanding another person. It involves stepping into their shoes and viewing the world from their perspective, even if their views differ from our own. The Stoics taught that wisdom begins with recognizing our own limitations and biases. By acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, we open ourselves to learning from others' experiences, emotions, and insights. In practice, empathy means suspending judgment and assumptions. When a colleague or friend expresses a concern, instead of immediately offering advice or trying to fix the problem, listen with the intention to understand their feelings and viewpoints. Reflect back what you've heard. It sounds like you're feeling frustrated because, which not only shows that you are listening, but also helps clarify any misunderstandings. This reflective process builds trust and deepens relational bonds. Nonverbal communication and presence. Much of what we communicate is conveyed through body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. Being attuned to these nonverbal signals can provide profound insights into how someone truly feels, beyond the words they use. The Stoics valued observation and objectivity skills that are invaluable when practicing empathetic listening. By noticing subtle shifts in posture, gestures, or expression, you can better gauge emotions and respond with sensitivity. For example, if a friend seems closed off or defensive during a conversation, instead of pushing further with difficult topics, you might gently acknowledge their discomfort. "I sense that this topic might be hard for you to talk about right now. Would you like to take a break or approach it differently?" Such responses show respect for their emotional space and foster a more supportive dialogue. Responding thoughtfully. After you've listened deeply and empathized, it's your turn to respond. Stoic communication encourages that our responses come from a place of calmness and consideration, not reactive emotion. When replying, choose your words carefully, speak honestly but with kindness, and aim for clarity. Avoid immediately jumping to solutions unless they are requested often. What people need most is to feel heard and understood. When you do offer advice or insights, frame them in a way that aligns with the speaker's context and needs. Rather than saying, "You should do X," you might say, "Have you considered X?" It might help because this subtle shift shows respect for their autonomy and acknowledges that you understand their situation without imposing your perspective. The ripple effect of empathetic communication. Practicing active listening and empathetic communication doesn't just improve individual relationships, it creates a ripple effect of understanding and cooperation within your community. When people feel truly heard, they are more open, more cooperative, and more willing to engage in constructive dialogue. This builds stronger teams, healthier families, and more supportive friendships. Moreover, as you become a better listener and communicator, you also refine your own thought process. Listening attentively exposes you to diverse viewpoints and experiences, broadening your understanding of the world. This continuous learning aligns with the Stoic principle that wisdom is a lifelong pursuit, ever expanding through openness to new ideas and perspectives, integrating empathetic listening into daily life. To embed empathetic communication into your daily routine, set aside moments each day to practice mindfulness in conversations. This might mean turning off electronic devices when talking to loved ones, genuinely focusing on the person before you, and resisting the temptation to multitask. Over time, this intentional practice will become second nature, enriching both your personal and professional interactions. Begin with small steps. During the next conversation, make a conscious effort to listen more than you speak. Notice the shifts in the dynamic, how the other person responds, how trust builds, and how the conversation deepens. Reflect on these experiences in a journal, noting what you learned about the other person and yourself, and how applying Stoic patience and empathy enhanced the dialogue. In summary, the art of listening and empathetic communication is a powerful tool for fostering deep connections and effective collaboration. Rooted in Stoic wisdom, this practice involves being present, open, and compassionate in our interactions. By actively listening, understanding nonverbal cues, responding thoughtfully, and cultivating empathy, we not only improve our relationships, but also nurture our own growth and wisdom as we continue on the path of intentional living. Let our conversations reflect the depth of our understanding, the sincerity of our empathy, and the calm confidence that comes from truly listening. As we continue our journey through intentional living, rooted in Stoic wisdom, we arrive at a pivotal topic: embracing adversity and cultivating resilience. Life is not a straight path devoid of obstacles. Challenges, setbacks, and unexpected twists are inevitable. The true measure of our growth lies in how we navigate these trials. Drawing from Stoic principles, this section explores how to confront adversity with grace, learn from difficulties, and build resilience that fortifies our character and deepens our wisdom. Imagine facing a significant setback. Perhaps a project falls apart, a relationship faces turmoil, or an unforeseen event disrupts your plans. In these moments of crisis, our initial reaction might be despair, anger, or frustration. However, the Stoics taught that while we cannot always control external events, we can control our responses to them. By reframing adversity as an opportunity for growth, we shift from feeling victimized by circumstances to becoming an active agent in our own narrative. Embracing adversity begins with altering our perception of challenges. Instead of viewing hardships solely as negative disruptions, we can see them as teachers. Every obstacle carries within it lessons that reveal our strengths, highlight areas for improvement, and prompt innovative solutions. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor who faced immense pressure and loss, wrote extensively about using hardships as a means to refine his character. He believed that adversity reveals the depth of our inner resources, courage, patience, and fortitude we might not have realized we possessed. Cultivating resilience is a practice, not an innate trait. It involves building mental and emotional muscles that allow us to bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. One Stoic technique to foster resilience is negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. By periodically contemplating potential challenges and losses in a calm, detached manner, we prepare ourselves emotionally for adversity. This practice does not breed pessimism, but creates a mental reserve of strength, reducing the shock when difficulties arise and enabling us to respond with clarity and composure. Resilience also grows through reflective practice. After experiencing a setback, take time to analyze what happened without judgment. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adapt my approach in the future? Reflecting on your experiences allows you to extract valuable lessons, turning pain into wisdom. This process aligns with the Stoic idea that while we may not control events, we can control our interpretation and the meaning we ascribe to them. By reframing challenges as chances to learn and evolve, we build a mindset that welcomes growth, even in adversity. Another key element in cultivating resilience is community and support. Stoicism does not advocate for isolation. Rather, it recognizes the interconnectedness of human beings. Sharing our struggles with trusted friends, mentors, or communities can provide perspective, encouragement, and collective strength. In moments of hardship, reaching out for support can remind us that we are not alone, and that others have faced and overcome similar trials. Their insights and empathy can guide us through our darkest hours, reinforcing our resilience through solidarity and shared wisdom. Practical strategies to strengthen resilience include setting realistic goals, breaking down challenges into manageable steps, and celebrating small victories along the way. When confronted with a large problem, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Instead, deconstruct the issue into smaller parts that you can tackle one at a time. This approach not only makes the situation less daunting, but also creates a series of successes that build confidence and momentum. Each small step forward reinforces our belief in our ability to overcome adversity. Mindfulness and meditation further support resilience by anchoring us in the present moment. During stressful times, our minds may wander into fears of the future or regrets of the past, exacerbating anxiety and despair. Mindfulness practices help us stay grounded, focusing on what we can do right now, rather than being paralyzed by what-if scenarios. This present-centered awareness enables us to approach problems with a clear mind, calm heart, and rational perspective, hallmarks of the Stoic sage. Embracing adversity also involves accepting that setbacks are part of the journey, rather than anomalies. Life's difficulties are not punishments, but natural occurrences that provide context for our growth. When we shift our mindset to see ourselves as learners and survivors, each challenge becomes a chapter in our personal story of resilience, adding depth and character to who we are becoming. Furthermore, resilience is intertwined with flexibility and adaptability. The Stoics recognized that clinging rigidly to expectations can lead to suffering when reality diverges from our plans. Instead, we learn to adapt our expectations, pivot our strategies, and remain open to new possibilities. This flexibility does not mean abandoning our principles or goals. Rather, it means finding creative ways to pursue them, despite obstacles. When one path is blocked, we seek alternative routes, leveraging our inner resources and the wisdom garnered from past experiences. In practice, cultivating resilience is a daily endeavor. It involves continuously refining our responses to stress, maintaining our physical and mental health, and keeping our values front and center, even when circumstances test our commitment. By embracing adversity with courage and a learning mindset, we not only navigate difficult times, but emerge from them with greater insight, strength, and empathy. In summary, embracing adversity and cultivating resilience are integral to living an intentional, Stoic-inspired life. By redefining our relationship with challenges, practicing negative visualization, reflecting on our experiences, seeking support, and maintaining flexibility, we build a resilient spirit. This resilience empowers us to face life's unpredictability with grace, transforming setbacks into opportunities for profound personal growth and wisdom. As we move forward on this path, we carry with us the understanding that adversity is not a roadblock, but a stepping stone, integral to shaping a life of purpose, strength, and continuous evolution. As we reach the culmination of our journey through intentional living, guided by Stoic principles, it's time to integrate these lessons into our daily lives and consider the path forward. In this final section, we consolidate our understanding of intentionality, resilience, empathy, and balance, offering practical steps to continue growing and living a life of purpose, wisdom, and fulfillment. Throughout the previous parts, we've explored how to set the stage with purposeful intentions, master our responses to adversity, prioritize what truly matters, foster collaborative relationships, maintain holistic balance, listen empathetically, and cultivate resilience in the face of challenges. Each concept is interconnected, forming a cohesive framework for living deliberately. As we now step back and reflect on these teachings, we recognize that Stoic practices are not just theories, but actionable strategies. They serve as a roadmap, guiding us through the complexities of modern life, while remaining anchored in timeless wisdom. To integrate these Stoic practices into everyday routines, begin by creating a simple, sustainable schedule that honors your values and priorities. This might include morning reflection. Start each day with a few moments of quiet contemplation. Visualize the day ahead, set clear intentions, and remind yourself of the virtues you wish to embody. Mindful breaks. Throughout the day, pause to check in with yourself. Use these breaks to manage stress, recalibrate your focus, and apply the principle of proactivity before reacting to unexpected events. Evening journaling. End your day by reflecting on what went well, what challenges you faced, and how your actions aligned with your core values. Write down lessons learned and identify areas for improvement, reinforcing a mindset of continuous growth. Empathetic communication. In conversations, practice active listening and empathetic responses. Make a habit of seeking to understand before seeking to be understood, and approach disagreements with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Stoic living is not a solitary endeavor. Surround yourself with a community of like-minded individuals who encourage mutual growth and accountability. This could be a discussion group, a mentor, or simply friends who share your commitment to intentional living. Engaging in regular dialogue about philosophical insights, challenges, and progress not only reinforces your learning, but also creates a network of support that bolsters resilience and empathy. The principles we've discussed are designed to be flexible. Life will continually present new situations that require adaptation. Embrace the Stoic understanding that change is the only constant, and let this guide your approach to new opportunities and challenges. When faced with unexpected events, revisit the core ideas of proactivity, reflection, and resilience. Ask yourself, how does this align with my values? What can I learn from this situation? How can I adapt while staying true to my purpose? As you continue practicing these habits, consider the long-term vision you are shaping. What kind of person are you becoming? What legacy do you wish to leave behind? Reflecting on these questions periodically helps ensure that your daily actions remain aligned with your overarching goals. The Stoics taught that living in harmony with nature and reason contributes to both personal fulfillment and the greater good. Your journey toward an intentional life isn't just for your own benefit, it positively influences those around you, creating ripples of wisdom, compassion, and resilience that extend far beyond your immediate circle. Remember that the goal of intentional living is not perfection, but progress. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. As you implement these practices, be patient with yourself. There will be days of setback or distraction, but each moment provides a new opportunity to apply Stoic principles. View mistakes as lessons, and acknowledge even small improvements as victories on your path to a more intentional and meaningful life. Your journey does not end here. Intentional living is a continuous process, one that evolves with your experiences and insights. Seek out further reading, engage in philosophical discussions, and explore additional practices that resonate with your evolving needs. Whether through books, workshops, or mentorship, commit to lifelong learning and self-improvement. The script we've developed together serves as a guide, a starting point to shape your thoughts, actions, and relationships. By consistently applying these Stoic strategies, you'll create a life marked by clarity, purpose, and harmony with yourself and the world around you. As you move forward, carry these principles with you, weaving them into the fabric of daily life. Let the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance inform your decisions and interactions. In doing so, you empower yourself to live not reactively, but intentionally, crafting a life that reflects your highest values, deepens your relationships, and leaves a lasting positive impact on the world. Remember, this journey is ongoing. With each deliberate choice, each moment of mindful reflection, and each act of empathetic connection, you continue to grow, adapt, and thrive, living a life of true meaning, grounded in the enduring wisdom of the Stoics.